I feel like if there was ever a year to talk about hope, this would be it. In the beginning of 2025, I remember posting a very cryptic post about how 2025 was a year of endings because numerologically speaking, 2025 equals 9, a number of endings. In 2026 equals 10 equals 1. It's all about new beginnings. Now, in 2024, toward the end of it, when Pluto joined Aquarius, and everybody was so excited about this is the age of Aquarius, a lot of interesting things started happening. 2025 was definitely a year where some towers crumbled, some celebrities were all over the spotlight for reasons. The files, the fires, everything just so chaotic. The world is just so chaotic. 2026, with its vibe of new beginnings, has me feeling a certain way. So let's talk about this week. Special thanks to my friend Emma, who gifted me orange and spice tea and this cute little black cat that I am obsessed with. Welcome. It is Moon Day, January 5th, 2026. And here we are to talk about moon magic and mindfulness with Grace. If you are new here, we are following the journal that I wrote, available in the link in the bio. It's on Amazon. Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2026 Manifestation Agenda / Journal, where we follow the moon. We talk about the astrology every week, and we're very interested in personal development, emotional mastery, and just accomplishment in general. Because as a personal coach, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner with my husband, as a mother and a sister and a teacher, and all the things I've done, right, in the last 40 years, I am very interested in focusing on what can be done to get to where we want to be. And so, always with a focus on positive psychology, not in a toxic way, but in a hopeful way, because it keeps us going. And for those of you who have been here the longest, you know that I started right out of getting my coaching certification with a coaching series called the Hope Series, where I would mentor and coach and help anyone who wanted to experiment what hope is really about in the practice of it, really just help find a focus on what can be done, even if it's a small step. Because if there is a glimmer of desire, then there is a tiny little bit of umph, which sometimes is all we need to take a tiny little step, to do something scary or to do something really fun. This week is all about it. Now, here's the thing, I come with a warning. The bottom line about all of this stuff relating to the moon or the astrology is that it is different for every single person. I remember going through the pages of the newspaper back in the day when my dad used to get the newspaper every morning delivered to the house. And, it would make your fingers black. I don't know if Gen Z can relate. Anytime I would read the horoscope and I would feel like it wouldn't apply to me, I would think to myself, well, I'm not the only Taurus in the universe. So who knows who this is for? Who knows who this today's horoscope is going to apply to? And I remember thinking, coming back home at the end of the day and looking back at the horoscope to see if anything of my day applied to that horoscope of the day, which is, now that I think about it, a little manic in my opinion, but maybe not. That's a special interest for you, right? It's incredibly personal. And so I'm about to share where the moon is this week, but I have to tell you, it's very subjective because even as I was writing this year's agenda, I have the settings on the number one resource that I use where I get all of this astrological information, astroseek.com. I have my settings set to my own time zone in my own vicinity. And so the astrology is going to change by the millisecond, if you will. Whether you put your address or my address or someone else's address, or if you're looking at the astrology in Canada, or if you're looking at the astrology in Pacific Standard Time versus Eastern Daylight Saving Time. I don't know, Easter time. With that said, we begin the week with the moon in Leo, which I feel like it is the perfect fire to get the week started. Anytime we start the week on a fire sign, I feel like it gives Monday an extra charge that Monday usually does not get. I don't know if you agree. But it it's really an opportunity to think about how we show up and what we want to bring to the table. So today's affirmation is flaming breath on steady air. I shine not for praise, but for purpose. May my light be loyal, my will devoted, building the legacy my soul was born to craft. Are we working on the things that we want to create? Even those of us who have a 9 to 5, are we taking the time to really do the things that we want to do? By tomorrow, January 6th, which can be a little triggering for some, politically speaking, but also because it's the day of the Epiphany, the day of Los Reyes. For those of us from Puerto Rico or any other areas where they celebrate the Day of the Three Kings, the Day of Los Reyes, it is like a Christmas but bigger. And so that's happening on Tuesday, which is the day that is ruled by Mars. Now, why am I mentioning Mars? It's interesting because this week is all about go, 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 take action, begin. The whole year has this vibe of a good foundation for beginning some things, especially for those who finished or tied up some things in our life toward the end of last year. It's time to rebuild, and Mars is that strength, that taking of the action. And the thing about Mars Day, Tuesday, January 6th, is that Venus is going to meet up with the Sun in what we know as a Cassini. And so, Venus, the planet that rules Taurus and Libra, justice, the senses, flavors, our own experiences in the physical realm, the earth, is going to be illuminated by the sun, holding hands, having a jolly good time on Mars Day, the day of taking action. So, what does that mean? Well, whatever becomes illuminated for you tomorrow or in this week that shows you something that you truly love, that you truly connect with, not just in the aesthetic level, but in the soul level of what truly matters to you, your values, your own sense of purpose versus or akin or along with the sense of purpose of those in your life and in your relationships. How does it commingle or not with the people in your life? And so all of this may become illuminated, or you may have an aha moment around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know, you let me know. But come Thursday, the day of Jupiter, that's when the moon is going to move into Libra, ruled by Venus. So Venus is kind of the protagonist this week. Once the moon is in Libra, now we have the sun and Venus in this Kissimmee vibe that obviously goes for a little bit longer than just, a day or two, where everything in your life that you truly value and love might be highlighted in some way. And then come Jupiter, the moon, the master of all of the emotions, is going to be very concerned with justice and diplomacy because it's going to be in Libra. So, however that shows up for you, you may be upset about some injustice that's happening to someone else, or you may be really moved by some injustice that you may believe is happening to you. So, how does that show up? I don't know. You let me know. And then on Venus Day, which is Friday, the day of the protagonist this whole week, Mars is going to have the Cassimi. Mars is then going to meet up with the sun hand in hand. So the planet of action, who might also want to pick a fight because it's the planet of war. And so, in fact, I don't even want to say that word right now. I hope it doesn't even get flagged. But on Friday, Mars, the red planet, the planet that wants you to get things done, however that looks like for you. For me, that looked like sitting down to get this done, sitting down to do my journaling. After I'm done here, hopefully my child is still napping and I can edit and post this and then get to some gifts for the three kings that are coming tonight. So, in the end, where Mars is concerned, getting into this Cassimi on Friday, on Venus Day, what I'm hoping is that whatever becomes illuminated for you Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you might want to start thinking about how to take the first step by Friday or Saturday, because then we can implement a plan of action. A plan of action, not implementing any action. See, baby steps. Then on Sunday, the moon moves into Scorpio. So on the day of the sun, which in this journal, we do gratitude journaling on Sunday. I hope that you love these pages with these suns that I've put there because I wanted more opportunities for open journaling, and open gratitude journaling on Sunday sounded like the perfect idea, especially on a day that the moon is going to be moody and dark and very concerned with our deep, deep, deep issues. Whatever Mars may rattle during the week, we're going to have to deal with emotionally, especially on Sunday when the moon moves into Scorpio and demands that you really face what is hurting you deep down or what is really weighing you down. Hopefully, it's not a lot. And if it is, please let us know how we can support you. And I know that I use the we a lot and I say we a lot, but when I say we, I mean we, the people who have bugged me for me to come back, and we, the people that get the book and that read it and follow it and are interested in personal development, the moon, the planets, and of course, getting in touch and having a great conversation. As always, I want to thank you so much for the support that you grant me, not just by ordering the book, but by watching, by commenting, by staying in touch. If you would like to contribute even further, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description. And Of course, order your copy. I hope that you love it. If you do, please leave a good review. And let's keep it going, guys. I will see you next Monday.